unrecognized records are equally impressive. A recent Nation survey is as follows. 85% of student council presidents were Scouts. 89% of senior class presidents were Scouts. 80% junior class presidents Scouts. 71% football captains were Scouts. Also, those that were Scouts. 64% of Air Force Academy graduates, Scouts. 68% of West Point graduates are Scouts. 70% of Annapolis. 72% are Rhodes Scholars. 85% FBI. And 26 of the 29 first astronauts were Scouts. What does Scouting mean? It means it's an opportunity for young men and young women to be able to enhance their lives and move forward with the things that we feel and hold so near and dear in our lives. Before I go any further, I'd like to ask this question. How many of you have served in the military? How many have family members that have served in the military? I would like to, on my behalf, to just thank them, and I thank you for the service that we've given. We would not be able to be here tonight at this dinner had it not been for the men and women who sacrificed their lives, and those men that are in the police force, first responders, as well as firemen. They go out every day not knowing one thing. They don't know whether they're going to come home. And it's interesting, as a football player, you walk around and people come up and say, wow, you were my hero growing up, or my dad was, used to tell me all about you. And now I'm starting to get, well, my grandfather thinks you were really great. But the fact of the matter is we're not heroes, ladies and gentlemen. God gave us a gift. The good Lord blesses us in so many different ways, as He has for us to be here this evening. He gave me the ability to throw, others to run, others to hit, others to catch. But yet those men and women that defend our freedom and protect us, they're the true heroes. So that when you get a chance, as you travel around, you see a police officer, you see a fireman, or you travel through an airport as much as I do, or you see somebody in uniform, just walk up and say thank you. I recall a situation I had down in Miami this year at the Super Bowl, and there were 2 police officers standing. I was on my way to a set to do a show. And there were 2 police officers standing about 10 feet away, and I started walking towards them. And they sort of looked at me like, oh boy, what's this guy going to want to say? And all I did was walk up and say, I just want to thank you so much for what you do, for the sacrifices that you made, and for putting that uniform every day. And one of the officers said something to me, and I'm always astounded sometimes when people make a comment. One of the officers said to me, I've never heard that from anyone. Thank you. So we don't do it enough. We don't thank people enough. And when you think of Scouting, that's the foundation for so many great people that have gone on to do great things. Trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. Why do I know that still? I'm 70 years old. I recited that 60 some odd years ago. But yet it's become the foundation of my life, as it has for so many of you here and so many young men and young women going forward. It ingrains with us. Noah highlighted part of it so well. It's the trust, it's the loyalty, it's the care and concern for one another. That's what makes Scouting so special. That's why being here tonight is so wonderful. And everybody, all of us go through changes in our lives. I mean, I've gone through 2 very significant changes that really shaped who I am, besides Scouting. First is my name. I'm introduced, whether it be by the voice of God or by individuals, as Joe Theismann. I appreciate that, but I'm really not Joe Theismann. I'm actually Joe Theismann from Southampton, New Jersey. See, when I was a senior at the University of Notre Dame, our sports information director called me in the office. He said, Joe, how do you pronounce your last name? I said, it's Theismann. He said, no, it's not. It's actually Theismann. I said, no, it's not. It's actually Theismann. He said, no, Joe, your last name is pronounced Theismann. I said, give me the phone. Picked up the phone, called my dad back home in New Jersey. Anytime I ever had a question for my father, he'd always say, fire away, son. So I dialed my dad on the phone and said, pop out this question for you. He says, fire away, Joe. I said, Dad, tell me, how do you pronounce our last name? Dead silence on the phone. About 30 seconds goes by, my dad comes on and says, son, are you all right? You're a senior in college, you know who you are. Now, what have you been doing for the last 3 years? I said, Dad, that's like, please tell me, how do you pronounce our last name? I'll explain it later. He said it was Theismann. Hung the phone up, started Mr. Baldessari, a public relations director. I said, Roger, my last name is Theismann. I know, I just got to call my dad. He said, Joe, I want to tell you something. There's a trophy out there called the Heisman Trophy. It goes to the best college football player in the country. We think you have a chance to win that trophy, but we're not just going to count on your athletic ability yet, no. We're not even counting the reputation of the University of Notre Dame. We think by just simply changing the pronunciation of your last name from Thiesman to Theismann to rhyme with Heisman, we guarantee you that, Joe. That's how I wound up becoming Joe Theismann. The simplest little way in our life. And it shaped who I am for the last 50 years. But what's so interesting about change, and this is what we have a chance to do tonight. We have a chance to change people's lives, as we've seen through Noah. You watch this young man grow. You watch the things that he's going to be able to accomplish going forward. It's going to be incredible. 5 years after my name was changed, I was having dinner with my mother and father. Turned my dad over to the dinner table and said, "Pop, I got a question for you." In his own little way, my father goes, "Fire away, Joe." I said, "Dad, tell me, how do you pronounce our last name?" He studied me for a second. He said his thighs were asked. So sometimes the changes that occur in our lives, they stay with us, and they should. I think we have to open our arms to change. Embrace it. Make change work for you. We see it in scouting. We see it today. The changes that they go through. The young people that get involved, and as they move through the different ranks, and for those that become Eagles, that's a great accomplishment. The Warford Eagle Scouts are represented here tonight. Hope they can, your basketball team, they disappointed me, I gotta be honest with you. Geez, I was rooting for them the other day. I knew I was coming here, and I was rooting for the Terriers. Of course, that word and a name a little bit too, I mean, it's like, Terriers are the cutest little things in the world. So hard to not be afraid of a terrier. But it's little changes that occur in our lives. We watch everybody go. The second change happened to me on November 18, 1985. It was a night when some of you may have shared it with me. It was a night when the Washington Redskins played the New York Giants on Monday Night TV. Now, you listen to the accolades that the announcer talked about when it comes to Joe Theismann, MVP of the National Football League, Man of the Year, Pro Bowl MVP, World Champion quarterback, all those things. The biggest problem I had with all that is I started believing every bit of it. I started believing I was better than someone else. I started believing I didn't need anyone else. I had become an island unto myself. Till November 18, 1985. Once again, the Lord enters our lives in so many unique and different ways. He could have called if he had a problem with it. You get a phone call, "Hey Joe, it's God, I need to talk to you." I would have answered the phone. But no, he'd rather send a large individual at about 6'4" and about 235 pounds to deliver the message. But I'll never forget that night. We were in the midst of a lousy season. I wasn't playing well. I walked into the locker room, I sat down. I was going to do everything we've done in this room. From time to time, everyone has done this. You had a heart-to-heart with yourself. You ask yourself the question, why am I here? Why am I at this job? What's going on in my life? What am I going to do with my life? And I stared at that wall and I came to the conclusion it was Monday Night Football. It was going to be that opportunity, my favorite word, to be able to go out, show the world that Joe Theismann that I love so much was back. I got up to my locker. I started out that locker room. As you look at this room, you see these exit signs. Picture below them the Redskin logo. Not some cute, shiny little star that some people wear on their helmets. Obliged to ask this question. Are any of you Cowboy fans? Okay, I really don't care. It's a courtesy question. You know that. We used to have that Redskin logo right below that exit sign. 12 years as the quarterback of the Redskins, got up to my locker, started out that locker, did that logo, never said a word. But on this night, for some reason, I got up in my locker, I started that locker room, hit that logo, and I uttered these words, "Tonight your life is going to change, Joe." And little did I realize I was into prophecy. My world was about to change like I could never imagine. Went out on that field, 7 for 10, threw a touchdown pass. Figured, look out, world, Joey's back. The Joe Theismann that I love so much is back. We turned to start the second quarter. Coach gets calls a flea flicker. Some of you may or may not understand the vernacular of football. Explain what a flea flicker is. I got into the center, I took the snap, I turned around, I handed the ball to John Riggins, our Hall of Fame fullback. John starts toward the line, so he gets there, he stops and freezes. Turns around, pitches the ball back to me. We should have fooled the Giants, thinking it was a run. They should all be up here trying to tackle John. I looked down the field, which should be a receiver, is wide open, he's not. I looked to my right for my safety valve, he was covered. Then I felt a little pressure coming from the left side. It was Lawrence Taylor. He grabbed my left shoulder, I swung around, he wouldn't let go. And as LT came around, his right leg got my right leg between the knee ankle, right where that screen sits, I heard a pop. Sounded like two muzzled gunshots, but actually my right leg breaking. I had an open compound fracture in my lower right leg. I laid on the field, seemed like it was returned. Only about 5 minutes went by, and as I opened my eyes, Bill Parcells was standing above me. He's looking down at me going, Joe, I'm sorry, Bill, so why? Joe Gibbs comes running out, kneels down, looks in my eyes, and says, Joe, for 6 years we've been together. Joe, you've meant so much to this football team. Joe, this is a heck of a mess you let me in. I said, I'm sorry. Within 5 minutes of breaking my leg, I've seen 2 people. I've apologized to both of them. And as they wheeled me out of that stadium, 55,000 people stood up and gave this selfish man an ovation like he never heard before in his life. 55,000 people said thank you to a man who thought he needed absolutely no one. Ladies and gentlemen, I tell you this, you cannot, will not, or will hope to be a true success in life if you think you're doing it by yourself. That's one of the things that scouting teaches. It teaches everybody about teamwork, about leadership, about working together. I had a friend of mine come up to me one day, he said, Joey, you think you're a success? I said, well, I spent 23 years broadcasting football, and I guess longevity says there's a degree of success there. I spent 15 years playing professional football and managed to accomplish certain things in that game, so I guess you could say I was a success. I broadcast television for a number of years, and I've been speaking for a number of years. And I try and share stories and teach the game, and teach stories about life that people can look at through my eyes into their lives. So I guess you could say I was a success. He said, actually, Joe, what you did, as a speaker, you aspired to teach people about things in their life that you want to highlight. As a broadcaster, you wanted to teach individuals about the game. And as a player, you wanted to be able to aspire to be the greatest you could be. Those were aspirations. He said, true success comes, Joe, when you reach a point in your life and you start giving back. This is where we are tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We're at a point where we have a chance to give something back. I will pledge to this council, and I hope many of you will join me, $1,000 donation to the Palmetto Council, because I believe in scouting that much. That's going to be my commitment here this evening. I hope many of you can match it, because without your funds, we can't do the things that we do, need to give these young men and young women a chance to be able to do something special with their lives. You know, it's funny, like I said, I got all wrapped up in myself. I became this guy who thought he was really special. It's funny how we get humbled at different times in our lives. I think back to a dinner I was at a number of years ago. I was seated at the dais, 3,000 people in the audience. I'm the guest speaker, feel mighty darn important. They bring out my entree, baked potato, 6 rolls. Give me one pat of butter. I'm decent at management, not that good. I take the butter, I throw it on the potato, I turn to give me out and say, excuse me, son, I'd like another pat of butter. He says, no. I said, whoa, time out. I am Joe Fox. Joe, these people come to me, speak, I don't know what that about. He said, sir, I know who you are. You're a great football player. Thank you very much. He said, you're MVP of the National Football League. I said, thank you very much. He said, you won the Super Bowl. I said, thank you very much. He said, sir, do you know who I am? I said, no, I don't. It's I'm in charge of the butter. Get one pat of butter. It's funny how we get humbled in different ways in our lives. One of the things that scouting taught me was to be able to establish goals. If you want to be an Eagle Scout, I made it to life, like I said. To be an Eagle Scout is special. What you have to go through, the commitments that you have to make. I feel and respect the young men and young women of scouting so much today, because some of us that went through scouting at a different time in our lives, at a different time in the history of life, didn't face near the challenges that these young men and young women face today. To be able to make the commitment to do what you need to do to get where you are, that's special. That's special. And those will be the individuals that will lead us wherever we're going to go after that. You ever walk around like I do sometimes? I walk around, I travel 200 plus days a year, and I walk through an airport, and I see a parent with a 3 or 4 year old child. And I think, wow, what's their world going to look like 10 years from now? 20 years from now? Those of you that have young children, what's this world going to be? Will we have tires in cars, or will we just float around? What will it be? I do know this, that with the scouting foundation that exists and will continue to exist going forward, we will put out great citizens in this country. Because that's what it's meant to do. Because that's the goal of scouting, to be able to create great citizens. You know, when I got hurt, like I said, I wasn't a nice person, I realized that. I didn't understand business. But I came out of the foundation of discipline, of hard work, of being able to commit yourself to something and finish it in the world of football. So I started my new life by creating different things like goals, for example. See, in sports, we write down goals. In business, we write down goals. And then I read a study that said 98% of the people in this world today refuse to take a pen in hand and write down a goal. I thought, wow. 98% of the people refuse to take a pen in hand and write down a goal. Do you know what you want? We do it in sports, we do it in business, but in our own life, we're afraid to make a commitment. We'd rather be a rudderless ship going current to current and living with life as it's dealt with us. I ask you to do this over the next 2 weeks of your life. Take a pen in hand. What do you want? Professionally, personally, spiritually, financially. What are you looking for? Write them down. It's amazing what we can do with our lives once they have direction in our life. And what price are we willing to pay to be special? I look around this room, I don't see average. Every one of you in my mind are very special individuals. But what price do we pay to be special? I think of Ronnie Lott, the great safety of the San Francisco 49ers. End of the 85 season, Ronnie makes a little finger on his hand. Doctor says, Ronnie, we operate on that, you're going to miss a shot at the playoffs. Already had 3 world championship rings, was already an 8-time Pro Bowl. He said, what's my option? He said, we can amputate the upper part of your finger if you continue to go to play. What do you want to do? Without hesitation. He says, cut it off. Yes, sir. I heard that story. I saw a whole place at a golf course. Ronnie, let me see your left hand. Yep, 92 third fingers. Top of pinky gone. Ask me my second favorite word. My first is opportunity. My second, why? Why would you cut off a piece of yourself? You're a 3-time world champion. You're an 8-time Pro Bowl. You're the best strong safety in the history of football. Why? You know what he said to me? Hey, Joe, they wanted me to miss a day of work. He wasn't going to give up a day of work just because he literally lost a finger. How committed are we to the passions that we love? I know Scouts are. I know how hard it is to become an Eagle Scout because I couldn't do it. I couldn't bring myself to get over that hump. And it was a great lesson for me in my life. That I never wanted to get that close to something and I couldn't commit myself to it fully. And I guarantee you, so many of you in this room feel exactly the same way. We've been so close and all of a sudden haven't been able to quite get there. So we set the goals in it. See, attitudes precede everything we do in our lives. Everything we do in our lives preceded by an attitude. You got up this morning. When's the last time you congratulated yourself? Think of it. You got up this morning, you walked in the bathroom, you threw the lights switch on, you looked in the mirror. What were the first words out of your mouth? Oh, God. You didn't wake up this morning, walk in the bathroom, turn the light switch on, go, woo! That's different. It's okay to like who you are. I have a book coming out in the middle of June called How to Be a Champion Every Day. And one of the things I cite in there are what I call momisms. Things my mom shared with me. It's funny, when our parents share something with us, we hear it, but we don't listen to the words. And then when they're gone, we hear those words and we listen to what they have to say. My mom used to tell me all the time, Joey, you can never be happy with anybody in your life until you're happy with who you are as a person. That's one of the foundations of scouting, to teach confidence. Do you know how hard it is to get up here and stand behind a microphone? Ellis and Caitlin have done a great job as MCs. Oh, let's hear it one more time. Terrific job. It's not an easy thing to stand here and do, but yet it gives them the confidence to be able to do it. Like I say, attitudes just, they precede everything we do in our lives. I can recall, like I said, people accuse me of being cocky and egotistical. I just had a great belief in myself. Because by God, if you don't believe in who you are, who's going to believe in you? And once you have a belief in yourself, it gives you the confidence to step outside that box that we create for ourselves. I want to show you how we get stuck in ruts. Everybody do me a favor, please. Fold your arms for me comfortably and naturally. Just fold your arms for me comfortably and naturally. Real simple. Okay? All right? Now fold them the other way. Don't look at the person next to you, it's not going to help. See people in the back of the room working on this little project. It's a home study course we're doing right now. It's amazing. I ask people to fold their arms, they do it comfortably and naturally. Even Eagle Scouts are struggling with it a little bit. But the thing is it wrong that I ask you to fold your arms away? No, you know what it is? It's different. I ask you to do something different. We get so comfortable in setting our ways, we don't want to do things different. I ask you to do something different. I did against the Chicago Bears in 1985. Unbelievable football team. I can close my eyes today and I can see Mike Singletary and Otis Wilson and Wilbur Marshall and Richard Dent and Fridge Perry and Dan Hampton and Steve McMichael. I can see all 7 of them like they're right here. You know why? Because all day they were right there. They were in my grill the entire day. Unbelievable football team. But hey, we have a 10-point lead on the Chicago Bears. Well, we kicked the ball away from Willie Gault, fastest man in football, 3 times. Now we've got a 10-point lead. We're going to kick the ball to Willie. I'm standing on the sideline. The ball goes through the air. Willie catches it and starts to run. Whoa, look at Willie run. Whoa, look at Willie really run. Well, Willie's in our end zone. Touchdown. Scores 10-7. But on that play, the guy comes off of us. He's also our punter. He tears the thigh muscle. We don't have a punter. Coach Gibbs is walking around going, what am I going to do with that? What a great opportunity in life. How hard can it be to punt? You drop the ball, you raise your foot, what piece of cake. So I looked up to Coach Gibbs. I said, Coach, you're looking for a punter. He said, yeah, I don't know what to do. I said, I can punt. He said, you can what? I said, I can punt. How hard can it be? Drop the ball, raise my foot, pow! Hope they can run that far. He looked, he said, fine, next time we punt, you punt. I go running on the field. I'm no longer Joe Theismann, quarterback. I'm Joe Theismann, punter. We get going on the 13-yard line. Want to running play, gain 2 yards, second down, and 8 to the 15. I looked at the sidelines. Coach is signaling a pass and going, chances are we're not going to complete this because I have a personal relationship with the punter. I drop back, I got a kid in the third row, in the stands, darn shucks. 3rd and 8 from the 15, he wants me to throw again. I can't throw this one in the stands, so I bounce this one to the ground. 4th and 8. Guess we have to punt. Offense runs off the field, kicking team runs on. My teammates are going, Joe, kick it right, kick it up, going, hey, just get it back. No problem whatsoever. I'm standing on the goal line at Soldiers Field. Mom, look at me. I'm a punter in the National Football League. How great this is. All of a sudden, I call for the snap, ball hits my hand. Have you ever had your world go into slow motion? The instant that ball touched my hand, the roar of the crowd, whoa, I'm thinking, kick the ball right, drop the ball, raise my foot, pow! Ball goes spiraling through the air, 16 yards. I'm back 15. That's right, you're being addressed this evening by a record holder in the National Football League. I hold a record for the shortest net punt in the history of the National Football League. You ever watch guys run down the field and cover kicks? My guys are looking for the ball. They got no clue this thing was. I saw him go to the Bear bench, so I get the old cursory shot. I start walking back, 6 Chicago Bears come up to me. We go, Joe Bates, can we kick it again? Go get him, pal. Now I have people come up to me all the time and say, you know what guys are doing failures in punting? Ha! Never had a failure in my life. Only an educational experience that did not go my way. I'm a punt head full guy. That's another thing my mom used to share with me. Another momism for you. Mom used to say, Joey, you go look for the good people, you're probably going to find them, son. Conversely, you go look for the bad people, probably going to find that too. I just soon go look for the good people. Because there's not only good, but great in a lot of different people. Goals and attitudes are such a vital part of what we do. The biggest thing I think I got from scouting is that you're a part of a team. You're an integral part of a team. Without you, the team doesn't function the same way it should with you. Every member has a role. Each individual serves a purpose. And I kept thinking, I've talked to different people about that term team and teamwork. Great little acronym, TEAM. Together, everyone achieves more. When it comes to scouting, as you move through the different ranks, it's your family support. It's the people in your troop that help you get to where you need to get to. It's that team working together. I asked Al Saunders, who was the head coach of the San Diego Chargers, offensive coordinator with 4 different football teams one day. That's what do you look for in a championship player, Al? Notice I didn't say what do you look for in a player, but a championship player. Once again, I will reiterate the fact that I'm not interested in average. It doesn't appeal to me. He said, I want to know if they're members of the Abel family. It's an Abel family. He said, yeah, Joe. Are they available? Are they reliable? And are they accountable? Available, reliable, and accountable. Those can very well be easily part of the Scouts' motto. Are you available? Do you show up? Do you show up on time? One of my pet peeves, I guess you could say, I've run 3 different companies. I'm intolerant of people that show up to meetings late. Maybe it comes from the fact that it cost me money when I was playing ball. And if I showed up, if the meeting started at 9 and I wasn't in my chair 10 minutes to 9, I was considered late. So are you available? Are you reliable? If I ask you to do a job, do you do the job? And are you accountable? If something happens and it goes wrong, do you take responsibility for it, or is it someone else's fault? All principles learned in scouting. See, tonight, we have a chance to affect so many people's lives. Every one of you could go home tonight, put your head on a pillow, and basically say, I did something for someone else. God did not put us here, ladies and gentlemen, to be takers. I learned that the hard way. I was a taker. I wanted everything for me. And he slammed my feet to the ground. He said, Joe, giving is all that matters. Giving your time, giving your dollars, giving your intelligence, giving your hugs, giving your warmth. That always makes you feel better. When you take something, you don't get that same fuzzy little feeling inside. It's an amazing difference. Because that's what being a part of a team is. It's a chance to give and support someone else. Roger Craig is in the Hall of Fame. Played for the San Francisco 49ers. I love to ask different individuals, whether it's business, sports, politics, it doesn't matter. What's made you great? What's that one thing that makes you great? He said, oh, Joe, he said, I just wanted to be the best play-action faking back in football. He didn't say I wanted to score touchdowns. I didn't want to run the football. He said, I wanted to be the best play-action faker in football because then it would allow Joe Montana to throw the ball into bigger windows for Jerry Rice. All he thought about was his role to make someone else's better. We have a chance to do that tonight. And then how do we get motivated to do the things we want in our lives? I mean, there's so many different ways to motivate. Competition. Everybody competes. Doesn't matter what business you're in, you're going to see how the other person is doing. I used to see what Joe Montana was doing, or Dan Fouts, or Dan Marino. I wanted to see how they were doing. I compare myself on a Monday after a Sunday game. So there's that competition. Pride. Pride who we are. Pride who we represent. Everybody has a name tag. It says who you are. Proud of who you are. I think back to when I was with Mark Mosley, our kicker. This is a little saying that he coined, and it makes so much sense. It's corny, but so am I. And I don't care whether somebody thinks I'm corny or not. That's another thing. Don't let anybody ever tell you you can or cannot be something you want to be. The reason why I love scouting so much is because with this generation today, they rely on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everything else to tell them they're okay. And boy, if they get more unlikes, I guess that's what it's called. I don't know Facebook, so I don't know. But if you get more unlikes as opposed to likes, my day is ruined. Oh my gosh, they don't like me. Don't worry about that. Somebody loves you. But Mark and I are getting ready to go out and play the Philadelphia Eagles late in November. We're in the bathroom. He's standing there fixing his hair. It's raining like crazy outside. And Mark's standing there fixing his hair. And I walked up to him and I said, hey, Mo, how do you doing? He said, I'm doing good, I'm doing good. I said, you fixing your hair? He said, yeah, I'm fixing my hair. I said, you know, it's raining outside. He said, put a helmet on? Oh, yeah. I said, well, why are you fixing your hair? Without ever taking his eyes off the mirror. He says, Joe, I'm proud of who I am and I'm proud of who I represent. Now hand me that hair splitter. And I've always thought of that. I'm proud of who I am and I'm proud of who I represent. You represent yourself. You represent your family. You represent an institution. You represent a principal. I might styled out general and his family out in their Redskin gear down here in what's supposedly Carolina. Oh, we're both not very good right now, so that's okay. We're going to do that though. But pride in who we are. Recognition. We have this distinguished awards this evening. This dinner's all about distinguished accomplishments, awards. John Riggins, Joe Theismann. How important is that award? How important is an award that you get? You know, Dr. Booker talked about the fact that there are some plaques on his wall still. He's taken some, reading them out, has a lot of them, so he's sort of reading them out a little bit. The important thing is there's some there. John Riggins, Joe Thies are being inducted to Ring of Honor, RFK Stadium. Our names are going up on plaques. 1992. I've been retired 7 years. Johnny's been retired 6. We're standing on the 50. I'm standing on the 50-yard line at RFK Stadium. My name is going to be unveiled on a plaque right next to John's. John's not here. John's not standing next to me. John's supposed to be there. We've lost John from time to time. Quite the character, I might add. But John's not there. And then all of a sudden, the crowd starts getting restless, getting louder and louder and louder. Out of the Redskin dugout comes John Riggins in full battle regalia. 44 jersey, giant shoulder pads, giant thigh pads, helmet under his arm. He comes right out, place goes nuts. People screaming, yelling, and cheering. Johnny walks up, stands next to me. I looked at him, I said, John, you really are something. He says, yes, I am, all right. Then I asked him my second favorite word. Why, John? Why to get up? And you know what he said? I had to hear it one more time. That compliment that we can pay to one another, that pat on the back to our kids to let them know they're special. He had to hear it one more time. We can't do it enough. It is the essence of our being to be appreciated or acknowledged for the things that we've done. We do that tonight, and honestly honoring so many distinguished individuals. But I believe the greatest motivator of all is one simple thing: fear. Oh yeah, fear motivates us. This room's about 40 yards wide. Reggie White, God rest his soul, great Green Bay Packer, Philadelphia Eagle. 6'7", 300 pounds. Ran a 40-yard dash, 4.6 seconds. Suffice to say, that's fast. Joe Thies runs that same distance, 5 seconds flat. Common sense is telling you, Reggie's chasing Joe, he's going to catch him. I'm telling you, not if fear's a motivator. I can run 4.5, and I have. Last little story I'd like to share with you, and then I will be more than happy to open the floor to some questions if we have them. I flew into Buffalo, New York. When I checked into a hotel, I asked the young lady at the desk, I said, man, I'd like to go get something to eat. She said, across this field's an online dining. I said, great. Started out into the night, went back, saw her smiling face, and go, wow, she's done something nice for somebody. She feels good about it. That wasn't the case at all. She sent this idiot out across the graveyard. She's laughing at me. Hello, stupid football player. You guys really are dumb. I didn't care. I'm hungry. I'm walking along. All of a sudden, bang, I fell in the grave. Woo! Start digging and digging and digging. I can't get out. Now the analytical mind of the quarterback starts. It's 4 a.m. It's pitch dark. I'm in the middle of a graveyard. Logical conclusion: if I start yelling for help, who in their right mind is going to come and save me? Nobody. But if I crawl over in this corner, scream like that, wait till daylight, someone will come. 20 minutes goes by. Another guy calls in. Hey, he's over here. He doesn't see me lying down over on this side of the grave. He's digging and digging and digging, finally throws his hands in the air. It's like, oh, they'll never get out of here. I said, you know, I felt the same way. You've never seen anybody motivate like that in your life. Don't tell me fear doesn't motivate you. There's so many different elements of our life. There's so many different elements of my life. As I look back on my scouting experiences, I attribute to scouting. I guess you could say really who I am, who I've become, the individual. It's all rooted in scouting. And for that, I'm ever indebted. I have the opportunity to speak at a number of fundraisers for scouting, and I'm thrilled to have the opportunity, because without scouting, I don't know if I would be the person I am today. Like I said, my mom spent 20 years in scouting, and she taught me so many different things, and they're lessons that we all learn as a member of a troop, as a part of a family. And I want to thank each and every one of you for tonight. I want to thank you in advance for your contribution. And I want you to understand, this is your council. These are your kids. This is your community. And these are our leaders. God bless you and thank you. Appreciate it.